Hi, it's Edie here coming to you from the home office in San Antonio, Texas. I help stressed out people all their lives through helping them, walking with them through developing powerful self-care strategies and practices, also known as habits. Sparky. Sparky's one of our 5 gremlins. They're a personification of different aspects of who we are that we probably need to pay attention to. Not probably, we need to pay attention to. Now, Sparky is what I call the warmth, the temperature of our interaction with other people. Now, a healthy Sparky is warm and inviting and calm and accepting and loving and generous and kind and all those cool kind of adjectives. But an unhealthy Sparky can show up in 2 different ways. One is angry, outbursts, the kind of person who you don't know the next time they're going to blow up. That kind of spark of bitterness or anger or rage or just unreasonableness. And that's unhealthy. That's not that's not conducive to a healthy society, is it? And still, we have times in our lives where that seems to be the appropriate way to respond to life. Isn't that interesting? Now, the other way that Sparky gets unhealthy is to be ice cold, to completely withdraw from others, to shut down and keep people out with a wall of ice. That ice is where not speaking to someone, freezing somebody out comes from. Now, both of these extremes are very unhealthy. I don't know that it is even possible to ever become the kind of person who absolutely never responds inappropriately with more anger or more ice than is necessary or reasonable. I don't know that it's ever 100% possible to be that person, but we can get better. We can do better. We can pay attention to what's going on with our own well-being. Now, the root of this unhealthy sparkiness can be from many different things. So it can be physical unhealth. It can be, man, if we're sick, we're hard to get along with. And if we're overtired or overhungry, it tends to interfere with our ability to stay calm. I have a niece that you definitely want to make sure she eats when she's hungry, because if she's over hungry, it's ugly. And she knows it, and we know it, and, we keep snacks. So, we've got to pay attention to our own physical well-being in order to be able to manage that spark. But sometimes that spark, that anger, that rage, we think is because of what the other person is doing, but it's never what the other person is doing that's the problem. The problem is always within us. The problem is always our thoughts and our reactions to what has happened, what's been said, or not happened and been unsaid. And so it's the stories that we tell ourselves about what's going on. And that's where we can have a powerful effect and where habits come into play. So one of the habits that I recommend, that I have practiced myself and still practice, is asking myself when I do feel that anger coming up, when I do feel that I'm responding with a spark, is to take a breath and ask myself a question. And the question is always, how will my anger make this situation better? And the answer is always, 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 it won't. And so then I have the opportunity, because I took that moment to ask myself that question, I have a possibility of responding differently. There are situations where we respond so quickly that we forgo our right to a comma. And we just have to deal with the outcome of that. But my encouragement to you is that we can learn to insert that breath. We can learn to step back for just a second, just 5 seconds, and say, how is this going to affect the outcome of this conversation? And choose differently. And when we develop that habit, it changes. I know. I've experienced it. And so that's my recommendation for today, is to pay attention to our spark, our level of warmth, flame, or ice as we interact with other people. It's one of the aspects of our lives that is habitual and can be modified with intention, reminding ourselves and tracking it and all the things. So thank you for watching. Have an amazing day.